online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your number one source in after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
All right, welcome to another episode of So You Think You Can Dance here on AfterBuzz TV. I'm Kristyn Burtt. We are down to the top 4, season 11 here. Woo. I know. It was a good night. I'm going to introduce my co-host tonight, Chloe West.
Hello, Kristyn.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
You know, it's been a really fun season, and we talked about wanting to have lots of choreographers on this season's from So You Think. So we're super excited to have first-time guest, Dave Scott. Yeah. Welcome.
What is up?
You guys, we're going to have so much fun, and he promised he was going to be real.
I can't be anything else. Let's just do it.
We love authenticity, so it's so appreciated. And we're going to get rolling because there were so many numbers. I think altogether, each of the kids did 5, so including their solo, that's a lot.
How did they have to? I felt bad for them. They were doing so many.
And they were like, here's your commercial break, change your clothes, and then you're back on.
Come on, this is a competition show. This is, and you're in the final 4. I expected more. Come on. I mean, the show is about literally throwing them under the bus and giving them everything that a dancer has to go through in 8 years, in 8 weeks. You get what I mean? And so, they did their thing. And the top 4 that's there, I actually have grown to appreciate them. You know, it's crazy, but yeah, I've grown to appreciate it.
Good, yeah. I mean, it was an interesting season, I think, where I felt like a lot of contenders went early. I missed Tanisha. I mean, I think she was
Tanisha
someone.
was a
I thought
big
she
one.
was going to be at the top 4.
Yeah. I did too.
Actually, you know, I really didn't think everybody knew the guys. Everybody.
Right.
Everyone. Now, the guys are it.
Yep.
That's
It's
it.
a male winner this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. It's a male winner this year.
Yes, I told. I have a. What do you call it?
A hunch.
No.
An inkling?
Not an
a premonition?
I'm attracted to the way he's dancing. Is what I'm
Attraction, an affinity?
I have a male, what you call it?
Oh, like a male crush.
I have a male crush on Ricky's dancing.
On Ricky.
Ricky's dancing.
On Ricky's dancing. No.
I mean, he's
if I did what he did, I would look like that.
That's a gift from God. I really, every time I've seen it, I'm like, that's a gift. Because he hasn't faltered in any style. Even if it's not a strong style for him, he hasn't faltered. You're not like...
It's stupid. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Tice Diorio dance, like totally go off. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like Tice and it, like had a child. And that's...
And his name was Ricky.
And his name was Ricky.
Look at that.
No, I'm saying...
They have the same little scruff.
Almost.
I
don't think Tice
size.
is connecting.
No, it's not connected. All right, let's get right to it, into the opening number by Travis Wall. You know, obviously exploring male-male, female-female relationships. I knew right away, I was like, because my boyfriend's like, who's the choreographer? And I'm like, I'm going to guess it's Travis, just based off of the partnering.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I really loved the way that they did the partnering in this dance. I thought it was a great opening number for the 4 of them. It really showcased all of their strengths. And I thought they did a really good job. I was surprised they did a contemporary number to open the finale performance.
Because it's not like that, wow.
Yeah, it wasn't a big wow, sort of fun piece, but it was beautiful.
Well,
and
I think this
liked it.
entire season has been driven to that aspect. It's been a lot of contemporary or what has been, you know, considered jazz. But I feel like it was contemporary. But it's been a lot of that, and it's been pushed that way, not being biased and, you know, just taken away from, you know, the hip hop anger. You know, no, I just feel like that this season has been driven towards that and Broadway. You know,
It's been I actually think that in the contemporary, because if there's too many contemporary numbers in a show, I start tuning out, or I start going.
Yeah.
I actually went back on a couple pieces and I was like, what was that one again? And even though it was beautiful, it kind of all blended into what it was. And in prior seasons, we've seen a little bit more of the hip hop and things like that just add a little bit more variety, I think, to the show.
Yeah, and it's not just to say, okay, just throw more hip hop in there, just to break up the monotony. No, and when you do the contemporary piece, dance.
Yes.
Don't just give me pictures.
Yep.
Don't just give me lifts.
That's a big thing I have
Dance.
in
And
the
that's-
jazz number.
Mia Michaels is that's my girl, and I'm not just saying it just because she's my friend. Because all of them are my friends and my family. But sometimes you just get caught up in the ways, and I've seen Travis dance. I've seen Sonya dance. I've seen them bring dance. And one of my favorite pieces that in the season was the one that Sonya did with when they painted the face. I forget the name of it. They painted their faces. They were
The men, all the guys.
no,
Or no?
it was the small group number. It was when they split.
Oh, yeah, they split the groups
They
up.
split
Yep.
the groups up, and I stood up before everybody. I said,
That's it.
like, wow, that's it. You
Yep.
know, you danced. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You gave me my pictures, but you danced.
Yeah,
damn
you
it,
see the
know?
movement, you feel the movement
Yes,
too, and I
yeah.
think that that's super important. We move on to the judges. It was Nigel Mary and Jesse Tyler Ferguson. At this point, it's America's choice, so
Yeah.
it's just the judges being like, hooray, good job. I felt a lot of that last night. And just a lot of comedic bits. So, I don't know what the judges...
I loved it. I think they had a shot.
We kick it off with Sean Cheeseman, African Jazz, with Ricky and Valerie. And, I looked right away and I said, this is a good style for Valerie. It's hard sometimes when I see her next to Ricky, because Ricky is so precise and sharp in his movements that you start seeing, okay, Valerie has the performance level, but I'm not sure she doesn't have that crispness that Ricky has to his dance.
Yeah, and Spencer made a good point that it doesn't matter what you throw at Ricky, he's going to try and copy those moves how it's supposed to look and make it how it's supposed to look. And, you see that Valerie doesn't have that drive to do that. She just is going to get the dance right. But Ricky even wants his body to look like he was an African jazz dancer.
Yeah, it's called commitment. It's just called throwing your body into everything, just throwing it in. And sometimes people just balance it out. Okay, I'm gonna go hard here, and I'll be smooth here. I'll go hard here, smooth here. He went hard the entire time, and that's what he does with most of his performances.
Yeah, and this dance was cool. I
love African Jazz.
There were
anyway.
so many cool tricks that we haven't seen before, but it also just looked so hard. Like, at the end of the dance, you could tell they were winded. They were
But what's funny is with any athletics, his shins would probably be sore as I don't know what if he tapped.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Different muscles.
It's different muscles. You're just training yourself in a different way. You just have to throw yourself in. And she's probably hurting right now.
Yeah, there were a lot of styles going on, and it seemed like we saw a lot of contemporary and jazz, but we had some tap thrown in last night too. So
happy.
Oh, and Bollywood. She was probably hurting from Bollywood. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Second dance of the night was Spencer Lift doing a Broadway number. It was Jessica and Zach. And Spencer last week admitted to us, he goes, I don't know if I should say this, but Zach is my favorite. And we've heard a lot from some of the people that have come through here just saying that rehearsal studio wise, Zach is someone that's really on point when he's learning a dance. And that's been a very positive thing for choreographers, because they like that. They like the guy that's just, I'll do whatever you need and I'll try it and I'll go all the way through from start to finish.
Yeah, and I think I really loved this number. I want that outfit Jessica was wearing. She looked like Jessica Rabbit, for goodness sakes. And I thought Zach outperformed Jessica in this number, even though Jessica was sort of the star of it, in this red outfit, and he's in all black, and it's a dark background, but he really shined through for me. And that was the number where you're like, okay, if she's wearing that, and her hair is blonde, and I'm supposed to look at her, but I'm looking at him, that's a winner.
Well, I got to say this, and this show changes perspective and changes your mind, and that's what it's supposed to do from episode 1 to the end. I never liked him, ever, ever, but he's undeniable. He's killing the game, and now he's just like Goober to me. He's just Goober, but now I feel like he's starting to develop a swag. And watch, he's gonna be like a little Bradley Cooper or something. Just like he's gonna grow a little something. But he's starting to come into himself.
Yep.
And that's what's making him win. That's what's making him stay at the top. And it's really not overconfident, but it's really that confidence in your dance and just knowing, well, okay, I'm here. I can do it, and he's doing it, and I have to give him his kudos.
And seeing the growth, I think we've seen the growth of him because Ricky was already here.
That's what's good. Yeah, Ricky's already here.
Yeah,
he's grown a lot.
And I was like you. I did not like Zach at the beginning.
Yeah.
It wasn't I didn't like him. He was so blah to me.
It's just like, huh?
He was very blasé. And then it wasn't until top 7 that I was like, wow, who is this person coming through? And then you really, and yeah, I wonder if it was when the All-Stars kicked in and something happened, maybe there's a dance that I know when he worked with Fiction, I feel like he really found that swag and found that confidence to try and just amp up himself.
Yeah, I mean, if you were
match
Fiction,
yeah.
Can you imagine? I'd be like, if someone was like your match with Fiction, I'd be like, oh, I'm going home. Oh no. I mean, besides him being like adorable, my mom's always like, that Fiction, he just smiles and I just love him.
That Fiction.
That Fiction. We had him in studio. He is. You just kind of want to hug him, and we were all over him when he was in studio. He's probably got a lot of swag with the ladies. I don't know. But and the other thing that Spencer had mentioned about Zach was that he really wants to do Broadway. He wants to go out there and do musical theater. So he was asking a lot of questions of Spencer of like what he should do and how he should pursue it and everything else. And I'll tell you, out of all 4 people, if anyone should be getting that on the town contract, Zach.
Absolutely.
It would make the most sense. Let's put it that way.
I'm sure he's the one who wants that the most too.
Fully well-rounded, and I mean, you never stop learning. So he's going to continue to grow, and yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Awesome. Let's keep on moving. We've got so many dances. Valerie and Zach. This is what the back-to-back. Here we go. Valerie and Zach, contemporary, Tice Diorio. I'm going to say this right off the bat. My boyfriend watched the show with me, and he said, I think this is now called So You Think You Can Act Dance.
Yes, I agree. I agree. This was a really weird dance, and I think the show was trying to make this dance the tearjerker of the finale performances, and it wasn't. I don't know. I
didn't feel it.
Yeah, I didn't. And poor Valerie,
she had some pure joy. She tried. So
yeah.
I think it's just a combination of everything that I've just seen the entire season. I love the acting.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Christina Applegate's been pushing the contestants on that, like performance and acting. And
It was so in because there's a lot of time we know they can dance.
Right.
We've seen them dance. We saw them every performance. So to actually have that acting was brilliant to me, and to really get outside yourself and do something totally different is fine. And I think not just, okay, I'm just going to lift, I'm going to kick, I'm going to show my extension, I'm going to show my feet, I'm going to show this, I'm going to, no, I'm going to act, I'm just going to go. I loved it. I loved it. Of course, we always want more.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we always want more, but actually, I loved it. I
did find myself wanting to watch more of the dance. I thought more of the story could have been told. Like when it ended, I was like, oh, and I did want to see more. So I guess, yeah, I was believing everything they were going through in that sense, but it felt like the show was trying really hard
to give you that.
To give me that sad moment.
Reach deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Ray Leeper, Jessica, and Ricky doing a jazz piece. And I just kept on writing, those legs,
Okay,
Those legs.
this is what I love about pieces like this is they just danced the whole time. They, like talking about making pictures and things like this. This one was just dancing from beginning to end, dancing, 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 and
He's creating
Yes.
shapes. Come on.
And that,
we're making pictures over here. But yeah, like it was so great because they just danced the whole time. And I love what Jessica said about working with Ricky, where she was like, oh, I need to kick higher. Like he's making her a better dancer. And that's such a funny dancer thing because they're staring at each other in the mirror during rehearsal. And she's like, why isn't my leg that high?
I got 180, but he's got beyond 180.
yeah.
well, that's when you go outside of just my flexibility and dance. This is what I want. And then you had all these little moments. You started off falsied out.
Yes.
You started off here. You started off at a lunge. You're here. Continue all the way out. And she did a lot of that. Killed.
Yeah.
And when they start to break, and I love Ray for just doing that. But sometimes I know we get upset a little bit. Sometimes you got to go outside that choreography. You got to go outside of that choreography and just
Go beyond it.
Put some stank on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes she put some stank on it, and then sometimes I felt like she was going back.
She second guesses herself as a dancer.
Yes.
I've seen that a couple times. It's been pointed out by the judges maybe a couple weeks ago. I feel like she's done a great job and she has grown and stretched because I felt like in top 20 I didn't notice her that much, and then in top 10 when she got saved into top 10, I think she realized, oh, I better kick this into high gear or I'm going home really soon. But she does like have a moment where she's like, okay, I'll do it. No, wait, So it's that, but it's a young dancer thing
like
too.
double dutch. She's like, do I jump in?
Yeah.
Am I jumping?
Should I do it? But when you're 18, 19, you do have that moment of like second guessing all the time instead of sometimes just throwing yourself into it.
But yeah, but they did an incredible job for Ray's thing.
Yeah,
I did too.
I loved it.
And it's good to see. It's good to see that. That's jazz to me.
Me
To
too.
me, and to a lot of people. But that's jazz.
I grew up with classic jazz, so it's,
Yeah.
sometimes what I see is jazz now, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I don't get it. All right, and then poor Jessica had to go from that right into a Bollywood piece, Breathe.
And she smashed her.
I agree.
And I know it's their comments is like the media. If they talk about it, then everybody forms an opinion, and that's how they vote.
Yes.
So they have to be.
Nigel sways votes.
You
does.
have to be
does.
liberal. Yeah, he sways votes.
And it's frustrating sometimes.
Jessica smashed her. Am I lying?
No, I don't think anyone. I mean, you do see the difference, and I think that's where Valerie, when she gets off the show, she's going to have to start developing more of a sharpness and a clean clarity to some of her movement. And it was very evident with Nicole's Bollywood piece, because when you see Jessica next to Valerie, you go, okay, because these are two females now dancing side by side. They're in the top 4. And every dance when it was the top 4 finalists, I was like, who's standing out to me in this one? Who's standing out? And it was Jessica.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't even
she
really
did.
love this piece at all. Like this was not one of the better Bollywoods of this season, I thought.
No, it wasn't Nicole's standout of the season, but
No, it wasn't. Nicole has some things in his arsenal.
He's had some killer routines.
Oh my
I
gosh.
love him. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe he held back a little bit, or maybe he just had to, just adjust for the two females, just period. But Jessica, she
stood out.
conquered it. Yeah.
I'm surprised that Valerie as a tapper wasn't better at Bollywood. Just
That's
being
what I
able,
thought.
right?
The
Being able to
rhythm.
move her feet in the rhythm and like being a little more flat-footed. I was just really surprised that her African jazz and her Bollywood were weak.
It's just she got
as a
tired.
I was going to say she
Maybe,
tired.
Yeah,
She
because
got
as a
tired.
tapper, you're like, that's sort of, I feel like those are all right in that arsenal.
Because remember, though, you've got 5 numbers. You're up at 5 a.m. and you're recording, the group number at that hour, and it's a long day. It's been a long
Season.
It's your body fatigues, and who's ever standing at the end is going to be one of the winners.
Exactly, but this is where you start to know your body and you start to go, okay, well, I really physically can't do that right now, but guess how I can adjust and make it look hot right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, and you know, you can start to try to mix it up a little bit.
Yep.
But these are the things that you have to learn from day one all the way to today. It's not just, okay, I've learned a lot of choreography. No, I've learned how to use my body. I've learned how to choreograph. I've learned how to listen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rehearsal etiquette is a big deal.
I've learned
so
how to listen, you know. So it's just all these different things you learn, and now you have to put it forward and
take it out
use
there.
it.
Yeah, because when they leave the show and become, professional dancers,
You're still gonna have to deal with us.
yeah, and they're gonna have to make it work for somebody else's show, whether they're dancing for Pitbull or whatever. Like, they're not gonna be like, "Oh,
How
you're
you pull
tired."
Pitbull out.
Just randomly Pitbull. There's J-Lo. There's
He always just comes to
Pitbull
mind.
out of
Maybe I really want to see a Pitbull show, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's what it is.
She want to dance with
Yeah.
Pitbull.
all the big dance-heavy shows like Rihanna,
Yeah.
Beyonce,
Pitbull,
J-Lo.
come
She's
So
like,
when you go and you dance
Pitbull.
for Pitbull,
when you twerk for Pitbull.
Guys, let's move on.
All right, let's do that because otherwise you're never
move on.
gonna live this one down. Everyone says Pitbull's nice, so that's good. All right, Ricky and
I do want to see his concert.
we gotta
He's
keep moving
cool
here.
people. Yeah.
We gotta keep moving because we've got so much to talk about, and we're not even halfway through. Ricky and Zach hip hop, Phoenix and Farside dance. Man, this was a lot of fun to watch, and it's been fun to see Phoenix and Farside even develop in their choreography coming in on So You Think.
This was my favorite of their dances on the show.
Me too. Yeah.
Except that weird head crotch move.
The one where he jumped on him and then
He was underneath him, and then he grabbed his head, and I was like, I don't know what this is supposed to look like.
What did you think, Dave?
Well, I feel they committed.
Yes, they did.
They were there.
They did.
No, it just because sometimes it can fall to the awkward stage. It didn't fall to the awkward. It didn't
was
fall.
just
It didn't fall
weird.
to the awkward. It was just, huh?
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those like kind of hunt things. But what I got to say about the entire piece, I got to give it up for the crew. Farside, he's
Yep.
amazing, but everybody can't do every hip hop move. Everybody can't just take and totally commit and take your back out and just do certain things. But I have to give it up to those two guys
They
for
killed it.
going all the way in.
Yep.
They went all the way in, and that was the best you're gonna get.
Yeah.
That was the best you're gonna get. They went all the way in.
They did.
You know what I mean?
And those are I think we both, all of us agree that these are the two guys that are going to be battling it out for America's favorite dancer at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, the girls
Yeah.
are great. I just don't think it's a female year. So what better than to battle it out in hip hop, which is neither of their style.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they really have something to prove, both of them.
Exactly.
It's kind of genius.
I loved it. I mean, this sort of shows why hip hop numbers like this are so fun in the finale, because they really get to try so hard and like battle each other. Because in their minds they're like, I'm gonna win this.
No.
And I feel like they put that in there because they had to for this number. Like, they had to add that competition aspect that the show has. Because I get it, they love each other and everybody's a family, but there's still only one winner.
Yeah. But they all think they're going home.
No.
They do. Like, Fiction, they kept his bag packed all season. He's like, I'm going home.
Yeah, he told me, he's like, yeah, I'm probably going to go home. I said, don't worry about that. You're going to dance hard on this piece. You better dance hard on this piece. Because you're doing it for me.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to.
We don't have no time for this. No, what I want to say about the show, period, when these studio dancers come into the auditions and go to the stage, they're well-rounded. They're probably not as great in other, genres as others. But there's hip-hop has so many different forms and so many different styles and so many different things. And so you learn it from different choreographers. It's different. You may have been learning from this person on this show, in this class, but you don't know this person's choreo.
Right.
So it's different than doing contemporary because contemporary is contemporary.
Right.
Tap is tap. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And ballet is ballet. So for them to get outside of their own proverbial box and just go hard, they weren't the best to me. But I stood up. You know what I mean? Because they committed. That's the thing.
They
they
went
committed.
for it.
And that's the thing about the show. It's just it's not hip hop heavy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it doesn't have to be, but it's just hip hop has stems.
I think that's really interesting because you see that in the street dancers that come on the show.
Yeah.
When they get hip hop, they're not always great.
They're not
Yeah.
at all.
When they're-
Even fiction. He's a street dancer, and so he started doing choreo. He told me, he was like, man, I'm stuck.
He's like, I got to memorize things. For you, is it easier to work with someone that is, say, a trained hip hop dancer, or someone that is, which is easier to teach, or is it the person that has contemporary because they're just kind of open and they're like, I just have to do this?
Well, sometimes it's kind of split because sometimes it's easier to work with, a hip hop dancer that's just been doing hip hop, but sometimes it's easier to work with a contemporary dancer
It just depends.
that has been doing hip hop. You get what I mean?
Yep.
But their genre and what they flow with is contemporary because they know how to move their body. Period.
Yes, they have the
That's
language.
all you need. You have the language. That's all you need. Now you shut that off. Put that on. Shut this off. Put that on. It's all about that.
Yeah. That's amazing. All right, we move on to the first tap number of the night. Aaron is back. Aaron
Yeah.
Turner, he was one of my favorites last season because he dances like a man.
Yes. I wrote, Aaron looks fine.
That's what you wrote.
I did. Because
Aaron,
he's like even more manly than he was last season, and he's cut a little bit, and his facial hair looks nice, and
And
he
Chloe would like a date with him. So at Dance 10 Aaron,
whoa,
he's
now
adorable.
I'm blushing.
All right. Anthony, I always get his last name right. It's Margerato.
I
Margerato
think.
with Valerie. He did 2 back-to-back tap numbers, which I thought it's so much fun just to see tap on the show. And he does incredible numbers. Every time he comes into choreograph, I'm like, oh yeah, I love tap.
amazing.
No,
Anthony's amazing.
He's ridiculous. And actually, I know I'm hip hop. Well, really more movement than anything else. I have a huge tap hoofing project coming up. It's quiet as kept. No, you don't understand. It's out of control. And
Is Chloe Arnold going to be in it?
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with her.
And Jason Samuel Smith. It's
Nice.
ridiculous. And but this guy, he's really formidable for stage. He makes it right. He gives you a hot 2 minutes. That's crazy, And I got to give kudos to his choreo and his talents. It's crazy, and that's one of the genres that I can't do. I'm learning. I got a cool time step going now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Getting on your heels.
And 2 different combos. Yeah, it's good. I gotta dig shuffle slap. Yeah.
Yep.
Flap.
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 I like about tap because all the sounds that your feet are supposed to make, you can make with your mouth. That's what they're
Yeah.
called. So you can remember the things by being like, okay, shuffle, flap,
Yeah.
and do it. I love that.
Go first.
Flap.
What did you think of the Valerie piece?
I really loved it. I thought, once I, got past Erin and got past being happy she's wearing her red tap shoes, it just was so fun. And I loved that Anthony wanted them to be speaking to each other through their taps. And I thought that was done really well. And that the acting in it was really fun. And you really saw their like anger and their annoyance with each other, and you saw it through their taps, and it was just such a fun number.
I think Aaron brought that out of her more, and
Yep.
and that's a thing that you can see that he learned from the season he was on. He learned that and now he's like, oh, and he was like, come on.
Yeah, and like
swagger.
Come on,
holding his,
come on. You know,
putting his
he's
hand
like,
on his
yeah.
chest and like closing
Just-
his eyes
just-
and
just
feeling
come
it.
on.
Got it. His Twitter feed was like nuts. People were retweeting Aaron stuff like all day. So he people, and I said, you know what? I missed him. I really did when I saw him on the screen last night. I was like, I forgot how much I liked him. And he's not doing a ton of dance. From
Right.
what we've been hearing, he's DJing, he's doing some music in Vegas, and I'm like, we need you dancing too. You're fantastic. Before we continue on to, we still have another like 8-9 dances to go through, but just reminding you guys that iTunes, I know you've been downloading it, rate us 5 stars, we appreciate that, and all of your support on YouTube has been fantastic this season. It's why we've been able to get these incredible guests like Dave Scott, so thank you for your support. Let's move right along. We get to the first solo. The solos at this point, it's just fun to see them in their genre.
That's it.
Yeah, it's really, and it's just like, Ricky, you're like, okay, show me the legs.
Yeah, and you're like,
Show me the
and
extension.
flawless. And what else could I say?
Yeah. Let's move right in then into Ricky, and then had to dance again. Ricky and Catherine, who I knew when, I'm like, you match up Ricky, Catherine McCormick, and then Stacey Tookie. You're like, okay, here's your contemporary piece. You knew it was going to be exquisite. And I feel like Stacey, because she's pregnant, is choreographing very like Mother Earth quality this season.
Yeah.
She's feeling, I think, very maternal. So you're kind of seeing it in her movement.
Yeah, and this was
I
beautiful.
love her. I love Stacey. Now, I just love, everyone has emotions. Everyone reaches from different places, and I love where she reaches from. I love where she grabs and pulls and make different things happen. And she actually had those two to make it come to life. Yeah, come on.
I mean, yeah, it's like Catherine is already here, and I'm off camera the screen, but like Ricky's over here, and now you're gonna put the two of them together. See if you can see.
And that one when he turned and she caught the leg, and then his body kept going. I wanted to cut the TV off. I was like, why didn't I think of this?
So good.
Yeah, that was cool.
I did like that there was like, she was partnering him a little more than you would normally see.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah.
really cool too. But it
Kudos,
was just,
Stacey.
yeah.
And easy to get overshadowed by Catherine just because she's such an exquisite next level dancer.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. I think that was great. Nigel got into a lot of heat for his suicide
Oh,
comments,
my
saying it's
Lord.
not God's plan for our lives. I mean, he went on and on and on, and he had a Twitter fight. Like, Nigel's been in Twitter fights all week, but he had to just sort of explain himself. And, I don't think he meant what it sounded like on TV, but I think it's probably with Robin Williams, like, suicide.
That's
It's,
just-
a lot. It's just a weird
Well,
time.
that's the thing, and I've never had a personal relationship with Robin Williams, but I feel like I have.
I think
Because
everyone
because he's incredible, and when that happened, of course it'll just make you just go off on a deep end and really talk about things that are happening in your life personally.
Absolutely.
Because I lost my aunt that way, and it just brings back a whole lot of different things. And there's a lot of different people in my life that have, okay, I'm gonna do this. I can't take it anymore. And so really emotionally, how can you explain it when it just happens right there in your face?
I know.
So he just
Yeah.
he just spoke from his heart really quick.
Yeah.
And you can't.
And then
you
people
can't
love
shame
and
for him.
Twitter, because then they're just like, I'm just going to battle it. And you're like,
Yeah.
Nigel always means well. I think that's the bottom line is what you need to look at. He loves dance so much, and he loves the dancers, and it doesn't always come across clear, but
Right.
I applaud him for taking the heat, and he always takes the criticism, and he always
does.
responds. So
Yeah.
it's not easy. It's not easy.
And like that just shows how powerful Stacey's dance was. That
It elicited.
it sort of just made him have that emotion, and that he had to speak on it.
Yep.
He paused for a long time, and I told Country, I said, wait, is he going to talk? Because he stopped. He was just, and because it choked him up, and it's a really big thing. And Stacey killed the game and
did.
brought that out of you.
Yeah.
She's incredible. Valerie's solo was next, and of course, super charming, adorable. She's got that personality that's just so cute. But let's go into this was my favorite piece of the night. This was the tap number with Aaron and Zach again, choreographed by Anthony. And I have to say, you hear 2 notes of Piano Man, and I was like, okay, I'm all in. I'm just all in.
I just loved the way that, and Anthony talked about it, they like moved across the stage. That was incredible. And for a tap number, for them to just be sliding back and forth. And it was just, and watching those 2 guys do it, and I love that they were in button-up shirts. There's something about tap, and I really like when people are dressed formal for tap. I think it looks so good. And yeah, they just, God,
killed
that
it.
dance. Yeah, it was so good. And Zach is really good at tap.
Yes.
Mine is you heard every sound.
Yes.
That's my biggest thing. You heard every heel, you heard every toe, you heard every scrape, hook. I said, wait a minute. I rewound it. It was just, and they were together. Because I first thought, I said, well, Aaron's gonna smash him. Aaron's gonna smash him. He's much well-rounded tapper. It was on point.
It was very clean.
It was clean, and that's so hard. You can get a whole bunch of things.
Muffled sounds.
Yeah, and it was just I heard because they're hoofers. They're heavy footed. It was just boom. I was I'm like, you guys are scatting with your feet.
But that's what you want, and that was the piece. Every week, there's always that one piece that I go back and I want to see this again. I want to watch it and everything else, and that was it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah, for sure.
It was good.
Awesome.
All right, Jessica did her solo, and then we move into Robert and Jessica. Robert Roldan, Travis Wall contemporary, and this is when you go, okay, you've got Travis, you've got Jessica, you've got Robert.
Yeah, I thought this was really beautiful and probably Jessica's best contemporary number that she's danced. Robert, gosh, it's so great seeing him again and seeing him dance, and just Travis being an amazing choreographer. I wasn't necessarily really watching Jessica that much, though. It was just both of them together, and it was beautiful.
Because his shirt was off?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I didn't, I actually had to go back, just looking over my notes, and I was like, what did this dance look like?
Yeah.
I have an opinion about it.
Do it.
Yeah,
Go for it, Dave.
It was just picturesque to me, and although beautiful, my favorite part of it was the lighting. The red light throughout the entire thing was my favorite part. The costuming was second, but
Yeah, no, and and this is the point. Like, it worries me when I can't remember a dance per se. We'll get you some water, and it's definitely one of those things where I sit there and go, "Wait, where did that come from?" There we go.
yeah.
And because it's just like you kind of forget like what the dance was about and everything else. I mean, and it was a big, heavy dance night, but sometimes it's like the contemporaries start to bleed into each other for me.
Well, it just have a couple of moments where you actually dance. You don't even have to use the floor. You can be right with each other. Dance. Move. And Travis can dance his ass off.
He's
you know what I
amazing.
mean? He's amazing, but I just need you to dance. And it was just it just bled into the season to me. You know.
Yeah, and it was very, I get what you mean, because sometimes contemporary numbers, when they're about something emotional, they are always like, the couples are always tangled in each other, and that's sort of the dance is them being tangled and them being partners and doing partnering. But yeah, it is nice when they break out into the dance part. That's always like the breath you take in the dance. And yeah, that didn't really happen in this one.
It was pretty. You can't deny that. The dancing
can't
was good.
yeah.
All of that is good.
The dancing was good. You had look what you had. You know.
I know. I mean, you both of them were outstanding.
Yeah.
It was an outstanding night of dance overall. I feel like after last night, Zach came out a little bit ahead of Ricky, I think.
I think so too.
And I'm getting that feedback from the fans. But remember, we're taking votes from last night and the week before.
You think so?
Yeah. Did you feel like Ricky won the night?
Well,
I I mean, Ricky's won
I mean,
this season.
I
for
mean,
sure.
I mean,
Yeah, Ricky won the whole season. I mean, like, who had the more perfect season?
I mean, but tonight, I do think Zach pulled up. He so pulled up. But Ricky, of course, is a better dancer.
Oh, it's a gift. Like, who has that?
But that's why Zach won tonight, because he matched up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and he's worked all season to get there, where Ricky has been there already.
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's so hard. That pressure of everybody saying, you're flawless, you're amazing, da 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 da. And like him knowing, like, I have to make sure I'm that every single
week.
in every dance I do, because now they're expecting that of me.
Yeah.
And we hear this all the
tough.
time. Like, we debate this all the time, but we get back to this point of, like, it really comes down to the vote for the fans is America's favorite dancer, not necessarily America's best dancer. Not all the best dancers have won.
Every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not every time. But
many times.
It's many times. It's favorite dancer, and he has that. I'm the boy at home, but I have skills, but I'm gonna make it. Kind of feel.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times I win because don't go back to me and who I think should be at the top 4. You know, because Tanisha shouldn't have never left.
Oh, gosh,
Right.
no. I mean, we're all in agreement on that. And,
Come on, ever left.
And let's just start with that Tanisha Rudy number that you did.
Oh, thank
We died. I was like, that's another one that I watched multiple times. I tweeted out, I'm like, let's all watch this again. Come on. The whole look. Tanisha just, a beast. She can do anything.
A beast. And then in rehearsal, in rehearsal with all the dancers, everybody has this paranoia. They're just so scared, nervous about everything. Her and Rudy just took it in. Okay, we're gonna practice. Okay, we're gonna take that. We're gonna go. Okay. You want us to do it again? Let's do it again. Let's say. You guys are making me nervous because you're not nervous.
They got this cool confidence.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Rudy grew on me because he was never the best dancer in that top 20.
No.
He had the heart, though, and he had the personality. And your number and the number he did with Allison Holker, I mean, gosh, that is so hard
Dirty
to
Diana.
do. Like, Dirty
Oh my
Diana.
God.
Did you see the rehearsal when he dropped her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they showed
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
No.
I would die if I dropped Allison.
No, because Allison, she throws her body into every single
Yeah.
move, and so if you throw her up and she has to like extend her cup,
You better be ready.
she's gonna do that. Catch her. And if you don't catch her, have you heard her talk? Yeah.
Oh,
You're like,
she's a strong
"What?
woman."
What? What are you doing? I'm like, yeah.
Don't drop Mrs. Twitch. Don't
No.
drop Mrs. Twitch.
Like,
And all of this, the drama with Allison this week, I don't know, we were talking a little bit about it briefly, but they were not, Dancing with the Stars was not going to let Allison out for one day to do the finale next week, to do that Dirty Diana piece. And Nigel took to Twitter and said, and you know, they did work it all out, and it's going to be fine. And some people were mad at Nigel for calling Rob Wade out on Dancing with the Stars, but I said, guys, cut this out. I'm like, the sad thing is if they don't let Allison do it, Rudy loses out. And that's what everyone needs to think about. And that's probably where Nigel's coming from. And, you know, I know that there's contracts and there's networks and there's things like that. But trust me, there is an exception to every rule. And they worked it out. So she'll be there.
Good. I love that number. I'm
well, they
excited
need
see
to
it.
put Good Kisser on the finale.
Yes, they do.
I'm just saying.
You guys all
I'm
tweet.
just saying.
Tweet Fox, tweet Nigel.
Well,
I've
you
been
know
singing
what
all
was weird?
season.
You know the 3 numbers? They were like, vote for these 3.
I saw those and I
Skeleton
said, I
and-
said,
No. The last one? What?
said,
That was like the worst
really?
number of this season. The one when she's in like the yoga pants and he's in like the weird vest. I was like, why? No one is gonna vote for that number. That number was awful.
Elle Magazine even called out
mine wasn't
Marina.
even in that.
I know. Why not?
Maybe it's already in the show.
That's
I'm
what
hoping
well,
Rudy
that's
and
what I
Tanisha.
was hoping. That's what I thought you were gonna dispel that rumor for me because
We thought you would
I'm
know.
like, oh, Good Kisser's
Maybe it's
definitely in
already
it.
Do you know? You know it's in. Come on, that was killer. That was killer.
It has to be.
It has to be. Let's talk about your other 2 pieces of the season, Emily and Teddy. How was it like to work with them? Teddy has got a huge legion of fans. Women are obsessed with Teddy.
Teddy, he has a classic face. I don't know why.
He's adorable.
Those little small features, but he can do his eyebrows, and
Oh, his eyebrows were
he
weird.
can make them wave.
Oh.
And I wanted to make it like wave, and
And then have his eyebrows do it too.
No, Emily and Teddy were really good. I actually got them, and she was injured.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I couldn't even do a trick.
Oh,
So it sucked. And with having like a minute and 28 seconds or whatever, 20 seconds, it's about like the
wow.
real quick. And I couldn't do a lot of those. So I had Ed Sheeran, dope artist, dope
He's
song,
amazing.
don't. And I just said, okay, let's just kill it,
Yeah.
just kill it. And you guys, let's show compatibility, let's show, the relationship. Let's show you guys have, some
chemistry,
connection,
yeah.
a connection. And so it was a difficult run from the rehearsal because something I don't know what happened before our rehearsal, but she had a spasm or something, and all of the tricks and stunts and I had to take them all out.
That's so frustrating
Yeah.
as a choreographer because you're like, I have all these cool things for you to do.
Yeah.
And then you did Jackie and Twitch Michael Jackson week. I know he's a big inspiration to you,
yeah.
so talk about that one.
Okay, here you go.
Here, get in.
Now I got Twitch, which is my boy, and then you got an all-star, so you go. It's nothing held back. You just go, and so I just went, and then with her, I said, well, I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not gonna change any choreo. I'm gonna make her pull up to this.
Yep.
And I just kept going. No. She didn't cry. She was nervous, but she kept going. I just have to give props to Twitch for being that all-star. He was actually an all-star with her. If you go back and watch it, it looks like he was going, come on, let's go.
I got you.
Let's go. I got you. And it went with the theme. So it was a post-apocalyptic. We made it, and all we have is dance. That was the theme. And so they just danced, and he was like, I got you the entire time. And, of course, he had, like, his moments and just doing different things. And he could have totally outdanced her.
Yep.
But he kept it there. But she pulled up. And I got to give her props.
That's awesome.
I agree. That it was one of those, too, that I said, wow, it was really nice to see. 'Cause you're not expecting all that from Jackie when she's with Twitch, and it's a hip-hop number, and it's a lot to take on. And I was really impressed with her that week and talked a little bit about it. And a lot of the fans, Jackie, people were like, I didn't know she was capable of doing that, which is great.
Yes. And I said, yes.
I do love it. It has to be so satisfying for you because you're coming
Oh,
into
my
the studio.
goodness.
It's your work and you're putting it on someone who is more than capable of doing it, but then you've got somebody else who you're like, uh-oh, what's going to happen?
No, when you get the phone call and right before rehearsal, your all-star is Twitch, and then you have Jackie. I go, oh, okay. I'm in rehearsal nonstop, going. It's just going. I'm going hard like it's regular. Now I got to get to the studio and adjust.
You're like, shoot.
How nervous are you as a choreographer when you guys are sitting in the audience watching the show and your number is about to come
Okay,
up?
that's a whole different show. No, that's an entire show. If you can just get us in the seats, Ray Leeper sweats. I'm telling you, if he turns around, it's just gonna drench us.
Yeah, Spencer was talking about it. He goes, he's like, I die.
No, and don't sit me next to Tice. Don't sit me anybody next to Mandy.
Oh gosh.
No, we just
You guys are
go.
wrecks.
Wrecks. But you do it all the time, and you're still a wreck.
Aww.
And so you have different people just so many different jokes and it's so much fun. And Mandy's stupid.
Mandy's great.
Mandy's so crazy. Mandy's crazy. Don't sit next to Tice. I love that he came back at the end, but don't sit next to Tice. He's like, we've done this. We are here.
We got it.
But then right before his piece, he's like,
Have you had a, because you've been around since season 3, right, on So You Think?
Season 2.
2, okay. So
Yeah.
for you, because Nigel will call out the choreographers if he thinks like,
Oh, shit.
did you get called out? Was there one number that stands out in your mind? You're like, oh, that night I want to forget? Because we talked about it with Spencer this year with the telephone thing, and he was like, that was tough.
He was right over my left shoulder. I looked, I said, that was nothing compared to how I got called out. No, I got called out. I said, I told, this when So-Young was on the season, right, and doing what Marina does. And I said, I want a Phantom of the Opera-esque feel. They gave me a cape. And they still talk about this cape.
To this day.
To this day, they still have the cape. And here comes Jeff Thacker. He comes up, he said, Dave, you want a cape? You want to use the cape for this? I'm shut up with the cape. Because when I say I got reamed to the point where Nigel got up out the seat and he came over and apologized to me because and I was sitting over there like this, looking for a shot.
Like, I'm dying. I'm dying
right now. No, that's one time. And Spencer, I'm telling you right now, there's nothing compared to, just go back to the cape joint.
Go back to the cape and you'll feel good about your phone.
You'll feel good about the phone thing. I'm just saying.
Oh, I love that. Well, we only have a few minutes left, and I just want to quickly find out, where are we going to see you next? I know you're working on this tap project, but anything that we can see right away or coming up?
Well, right away coming up, yeah.
Rudy and Tanisha next week on the finale, perhaps?
Well, yeah, I'll be there at the finale. I just, it's just the development of all of these different things that's happening right now. Something big with Nickelodeon.
Nice.
I love the kids.
The kids are awesome.
Yeah, the kids are crazy, and they're revolutionary. They're taking over the world.
I love it.
I'm telling you right now, it's crazy. And my tap project, and
Does that tap project have a name yet?
yes, it has a name.
The Untitled Tap Project.
No, it's called Buffalo Flats. It's
Nice.
crazy. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel like, and people ask, like, what do you mean Buffalo Flats? It's the name of the main place in the script. And when you think about Buffalo, you hear the stampede before the storm. And that's what tap is.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So and then I have a huge movie that we filmed last year into this year. It's called High Strung, and it's amazing with Michael and Janine Damien, and it's coming out, and it's really combining the contemporary world with the urban world.
Nice.
In a different way than everybody else has done, because it's going with the music. And so the dance is the accessory.
Oh.
Sounds amazing.
I know.
You have a lot of good projects coming up. I love this. So tell everyone, if they want to stay in touch with you, where they can find you online.
Well, if you want to stay in touch with me online, my Twitter is Dave Scott 10.
Instagram.
At Dave Scott 10. Instagram is dscott1010 on Instagram. Or you can go to my website, the official Dave Scott.
All right.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. You're
Thank you
amazing.
so much.
I love your insight. Chloe, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Chloe West X.
And this is your last week, so.
This is my last week. I will miss the boy party that Kristyn gets
I
to
get the boy party. I get Teddy, and I get Serge, and I get Emilio. Because she requested Emilio, so I got him for her, and now I get him all to myself. But Chloe and I will also be doing the dance walk with Courtney Galliano on September 13th. We have a donation page. We would love $1, please, because it goes to a great cause, and we want to support MS and, of course, Courtney's journey. And you can find me at Kristyn Burtt on Twitter and the Kristyn Burtt on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you so much, you guys. I'll see you for the finale next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.